boys and girls, I wanted to show you how you will complete your math work using Pear Deck. So just like usual, you'll go to your classwork and you're going to see your assignments. You'll see a separate assignment for this math lesson. So it's Math Lesson 11, Module 5. So you'll click on your assignment, and then it'll sign you into Pear Deck. So Pear Deck is a Chrome extension. If you are using the school Chromebooks, it's already installed, and you might get a little pop-up window up here saying Pear Deck wants to access your Chromebook or something like that. So you'd click Allow, of course, because you want to use it. If you are not using a school device, it is a free extension. You just got to download it. Again, it's called Pear Deck, and you download it in the Chrome extension store. So first, this is how it starts off every day. Each lesson, it says, how are you feeling today? I'm feeling pretty good, so I'm going to give myself a happy face. So just give it a moment. And this is what your lesson is going to look like instead of those worksheets. And I know a lot of you guys were like, well, I was doing my math on a separate piece of paper, and how do we get it to you? So now this is how you'll do it. You'll complete it, and you don't have to worry about doing separate pieces of paper and trying to take pictures and submit it. So it's all going to be done on here. So you're going to see these are all your colors that you have. And these are your tools down here. You have a pencil, then you have a highlighter, you have a line button, and I'll show you how that works. And you get to create lines, which is going to come very helpful when you're making number lines later. And then this is text, and this is your eraser. Now, this is the sizer. Will determine how large your lines are. So for example, let me pick purple right here, my favorite color, and I want a pencil. I want purple, and I want to make a small line. So if I'm making ours small, I'm just going to show you like this again. If it's small, it's going to look like that. If I click on the size and I go a little thicker, go bigger, it's going to look like that. So that's what the sizer is. It determines how big your pencil is going to be. So let's erase that. And actually, you can make your eraser bigger. So erase it quickly. All right. So those are your tools that you have there. So I'm going to go back to pencil. And let's take a look at our problem. So it says label each number line with the fractions shown on the tape diagram. So let's look at each sentence. So let's label each number line with the fractions. So listen, looking at this right here at our tape diagram, we can see there's a 1 there that's showing this is a whole. And this whole has been divided into parts, equal parts in our fractions. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. So this must be in fourths. So I'm going to label my number line. Here's my number line down here. I'm going to click text. So I'm going to click text down here. And I'm going to click right here on this number line. And so if it's in fourths, this is at the beginning, this is going to be 0, 4. And if you click on it, you can see you can move it so it matches right there at the spot. So if this is 0 fourths, this first part right here would be, again, make sure you're on text. This is going to be 1 fourth. And then again, I'll move that so it matches right there. And then this would be 2 fourths, 3 fourths, and 4 fourths. So I've labeled my number line, and I can do the whole thing, but you would finish it, of course. Then it says circle the fraction that labels the point on the number line that also names the shaded part of the diagram. So if we look at this, 1 out of those 4 parts are shaded, so that is 1 fourth. So I'm going to go back to my pencil. I'm going to pick purple. This size, that's about a good size. And I'm going to circle, because I'm right there at that shaded, I'm going to just go to circle 1 fourth. So there I have 1 fourth. And I've completed problem 1A. Going through, close this out. So 1B is very similar. All right, so for 1B, looks like this, similar. So you did the same thing. You'd label each number line with the fractions and circle the one that it shows right there. 1C is the same. And then we get to number 2. So number 2, it says write number sentence using multiplication. So again, you want to make sure you're looking at, this one says multiplication and not division. So you want to make sure you have multiplication. And it says the fraction represented in 1A is equivalent to the fraction represented in 1B. So remember the fraction in 1a was the 1/4. So I'm going to use my pencil, and I'm going to write 1/4. And we want it to say it's equivalent. So remember what's equivalent? We're going to use our equal sign. I want to say it's equivalent. And we're using multiplication. So I'm going to use my line. Oh, actually, I could have used my, let's see. Let's use our line tool. So let me go ahead and erase that, and I'll show you how to use your line tool. So we're going to click on line. So you'd click here, click on line, and you'd click here, and you kind of just stretch out. I made it a little too thick. We can make it thinner. And I can actually continue my lines for equals, and then for my next fraction too. So, and I'm using multiplication, so I'm going to set that up with my writing, back to my writing. Remember, whatever I do to the top, I do to the bottom. And then it does say the fraction represented 1b. So I'm going to have to go back on my slides, go back to 1b to remind myself, unless you have that memorized. So if we look at this, this was broken into 8s, and we had 2 8s right there. Is that the shaded part? So going back, so we want this to be 2 8s. So let's take a look. So how do I go from 1/4, because 1/4 is equal to 2 8s, how do I get there? So if we're looking at that for 1 times what would give me 2, well, I know that 1 times 2, and whatever I multiply to my numerator, I multiply to my denominator, top and bottom, so 4 times 2. So 1 times 2 equals 2, and 4 times 2 equals 8. So there is our number sentence to show that the fraction in 1a, which is right here, is equivalent, equals to the fraction in 1b. So, and then you'd move on again back to, it says use each shaded typogram below as a ruler to draw a number line. So now you're going to draw your number line. So again, you use that line, go right here, click right here, and you want it to extend the length, and you want this to be a point, and you want this to be a point, and your beginning. And because it is a number line, that means, remember, it does continue. We actually should have kept going. And I can go back to pencil, kind of just make that arrow showing that our number line continues. So mark each number line with the fractional unit. So again, I'm going to go back to text. So I'd have this is my 1 whole. What was this broken into? This would be broken into thirds. So I'd label this right here would be 1/3, 2/3, etc. And you're going to go through, continue, and again, writing number sentence, again, that equivalent going back. So, and again, here's writing a number line. You're partitioning a number line. So again, you want to use that line tool. Make your line. And you break it up into your portions. All right, boys and girls, I hope this was helpful, and you can figure out Pear Deck to do your lessons.